will be going back to Sam Matterface. He will be with David Moyes very soon. But let's go to Jack. He's a Spurs fan. All right, Jack.
Jackie boy.
Hello, boys. How are you?
Right,
I'm all right, Jack. I'm all right. You been to the game?
Yeah, just on the way home. Look, not the worst result.
No.
Obviously not the worst, but I just felt I could have been there all night long and we wouldn't have scored. We wouldn't have scored. We gave the ball away tonight so many times, like really sloppy. We just didn't get... We allowed them to get those players behind the ball constantly, and then when they're there, it's hard to break them through. I mean, every time we got to Bynon and we got to the edge of the box, they had all their players back, and we weren't quick enough in the transition. And that's
they do that well, West Ham. That's one thing they do, and I think that's part of what West Ham fans feel as though they want to see something a little bit more progressive. But they're a tricky customer, especially when they've got that 4 and a 5. They're hard to break down, really hard. And then when you do get the ball, you've got to move it quickly, and they get themselves back in shape. You know, Werner. It's not really a game for Werner. He wants grass in behind. There's never a lot of grass at West Ham, is there?
No.
They make sure they make those spaces in behind.
You're right there. Yeah,
everything's in front of them.
I saw Werner tonight. One thing that frustrates me when you watch the game, just stands on the other side of the pitch. But then if you're not going to create those chances and get him through quickly, he's just so isolated. And then it made, again, the midfield three, same with Luton, struggled again. The midfield
Jack, let me ask you a question.
Very good.
I'll ask you both a question, all right? If you were managing a team against Spurs, how would you set your team up?
I'd sit off.
Is that? Right? So Spurs want you to come on to them. Spurs want space in behind. They want the counter-attack. That's why they brought Werner in, because they want that counter-attacking style. They've got pace to burn. Brennan up top. Son. Werner.
Cundy, how do City win the league?
Well, they find a way. But they've got Bernardo Silva. You know, they've got players like...
They find a way, though. They find a way. You know,
more often than not. But they struggled against Arsenal. Struggled against Arsenal. But but they've got better players, Jack. You know, they've got players that can thread a ball through an ear. I think, think about what in the past they've had as well. Players that have left and moved on.
Most teams that are challenging and are trying to win things and win the leagues, they play teams who sit back against them. You know, you only get teams going against you if they think they can go toe-to-toe and beat you. So what else do you expect if you're going to be up there fighting?
Yeah, but you have to take into account it is almost a compliment that teams sit off Tottenham now this season, because I think at the start of the season, teams were going toe-to-toe with Spurs and they were getting absolutely battered. Now teams have realised, right, we can't go up against this team. They move the ball well, they keep it, and they try and hurt you on the counter-attack with pace. So teams have adapted the way they've played against Spurs this season, and it's made it more difficult, you know, now to break teams down, and we've got to find a way to do it.
Doesn't it make it more baffling that Maddison come off?
Yes. I can't believe
I can't believe
that, Maddison come off.
You're looking for someone, and if you're looking for that Bernardo Silva, Spurs have got that type in Maddison, haven't they? He's one that can unlock little things. That's what kind of surprises.
The only reason I think, Jack, that you take him off is because he's not 100% fit. But do you think it was a weird decision?
I think you always, like you said, you're going to find that pass. You need Maddison, but I still feel as a midfield three, they struggled again. You know, I think Bentancur can find those passes. He ran out of puff, I think, a little bit, Maddison, and I think he's needed a little bit more of energy. But I think you need a manager, and the manager's got to adapt to these situations. If you know the teams are going to do this against us, to try and find different ways of playing the pockets and giving other players a chance to do that. You know, bringing on Højbjerg was you know, shore things up. But if you're going to take Maddison off, you've got to bring someone else that's going to find that spot. Find that pass. And the replacements weren't the people to do that.
Yeah, it's a tough game. It is a tough game. I'm annoyed because you want to beat West Ham. Do you know what I mean? It's a very noisy West Ham.
Yeah, and it's
so you want to put them in their box a little bit, and we don't. We never really do anymore because they seem to know how to get a result against us.
I want to know what West Ham fans think of that performance, because I thought it's playing against a better side, which Spurs are, that can hurt teams if you come onto them. David Moyes technically got it right. It was up to Postecoglou's side to come and break them down. He couldn't do it. I think both sides. Spurs will probably be a little bit more disappointed because of where they're on the league. That's not a bad point overall for both. It's not.
Well, let's ask a West Ham fan. Johnny's phoned us up. Right, Johnny?
Jamie, Jason.
Johnny,
How are you, matey? You good?
Yeah, I'm all right. Just come back. Listen, some great points tonight. You've nailed a few of them. I just thought the battling quality tonight and the desire we showed after the result against Newcastle could have gone either way tonight, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought we took the game to Tottenham tonight. I thought Tottenham was throwing the kitchen sink at us at times in the second half, and I thought we stood our ground.
Yeah.
Now, the point with the Antonio chances, James and Jace, is it was a foul on the edge of the box at the time on Maddison.
Yeah,
So
it was,
He would have gone back when he was on a one-on-one with the goalkeeper. I think he honestly would have blown up.
Yeah, we
But
both
going
said
back
that.
to Maddison, it's the first time as a West Ham supporter he was picking out pockets in the midfield. I've never seen him that live. I said to myself, what a player. He's picking up passes, little channels, getting in the pocket. And when he went off, we were so happy as West Ham supporters. We couldn't believe that, Ange Postecoglou took him off. We couldn't believe it, you know. But there was a little time in the game when Piquet, I don't know if you see it, he tried to shake Maddison's hand. And Maddison sort of swerved it. He didn't want to know. And there was a lot of fans that was a bit disappointed with Maddison with that. Right. But when he came off, we were so over the moon because he was just picking out passes. We just couldn't believe that he got subbed at the time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But overall, I thought we gave a good account for ourselves tonight. But the one thing that I'm a bit subdued about is that he made that change against Newcastle when he brought Phillips on the weekend, Calvin Phillips.
Yeah.
And Phillips made the mistake, and obviously we conceded the 3 goals late on and we lost the game. He didn't make one substitution tonight, David Boyce. And it was very, very surprising, you know what I mean?
Is it surprising, though, after what happened against Newcastle? It's probably not.
I don't know, Jane. You know, we had Danny Ings on the bench, obviously, and Antonio run himself in the ground tonight, a 34-year-old. You just nailed it. I just thought he could have made a little twinge here and there, you know what I mean? I think it was fan power that sort of got into Moyes tonight.
Yeah.
And he thought, I'm not going to make a change tonight. Do you know what I mean? I thought he's going to keep it as it is and settle for the point. But I think if you ask a West Ham supporter or a Spurs supporter tonight after that game at the London Stadium, I think West Ham fans would be a little bit more happy with the point, Jake, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you make a really good point there. You know, he's come under a bit of stick, David Moyes, for his substitution.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.